You all need to think for your goddamn selves. Ugh, this is so annoying. Hello everyone, Slicky Campbell here, and today we are going to talk about this whole New York City influencer, why they're boring, why they suck, blah 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 blah. And it's a really easy conversation to solve. I just think a lot of people complicate it because of the clicks and views of TikTok and whatnot. So let's just get right into it. So we all know the biggest side hustle to do right now is TikTok. Doing TikTok, finding your niche, becoming an influencer. Everyone wants that in some capacity. They feel like it's a way they don't have to work. If they feel like it's a way they can make a lot of money, they can get out of this corporate cycle that everyone talks about. Well, a lot of people that make it are people in their early 20s or even late teens that are moving to New York City, and they do get ready with me's, and they're usually women, and they, film their lives, and they're gorgeous and blah blah blah. And I don't know where this conversation started from, but someone said, like, hey, a lot of these girls that are moving to New York that are just doing their thing, they're doing their allo class, they're doing all that, they are boring. Which, like, you need someone to tell you that, or you couldn't just observe that from yourselves? Your last two brain cells are like fighting to tell you that they're boring. You thought the white girl with the blowout and that's following every trend that has started in the last week is boring? Like, come on, let's be for real.
I'm not gagging. I'm gagging from, like, the smell.
You know why these girls are boring is because they are filthy, stinking rich, and they don't have to be cool. That's what it boils down to. A lot of these girls come from money, whether their dad's in finance, a doctor. You see it in almost any industry or any social media niche. A lot of these kids come from rich parents. They don't have to be cool. They were always cool because money made them cool in high school. They were able to get everything that they saw on the internet. It's that simple. There's no discourse or think piece that you need to do to convince anyone that they're boring. We can all see it. It's just their access to money and resources. And since they're able to get these things at a faster rate because they have more money, people flock to them and they want their opinion, and they eventually become these figureheads in the influencing world. It's literally that simple. I think people get frustrated because it really shows how money can really elevate you in places, and how the lack of it makes it really hard for you to become an influencer. That's why not every single person in the world is an influencer, because you need some kind of funds to do it. But like any boycott or anything that people, or blackout or anything that people want to do, it just never happens because people always their eyes are glued to it. These influencers get paid off of the attention that you give them, and y'all love to give them attention. It's that simple. And this video and the 50 other think pieces that you've seen on TikTok are probably not going to make you stop watching these people, but that's the only way you get cool people on your For You page, on your Twitter, on your YouTube. If you're seeing this right now, you're cool as fuck because only cool people watch me. You are digesting the content, you are commenting on it, and you are liking it and sharing it to your friends, and you're thinking, why can't I be like her? Why can't you be like him? I think you just really need to be aware of who you're following. This was just really put on display when the whole 2024 election came out and everyone's favorite influencer was a Trump supporter. It's like, yeah, the 20-year-old blonde girl that lived in freaking Wyoming and moved to LA because her dad would own oil fields in Wyoming. You don't think she's a Republican? Like, again, let's use the 3 brain cells we have that are lasting from your vape usage and your screen time being at 26 hours in a day, which isn't even possible, but somehow you've made it possible. And yeah, you just really need to vet out your favorite creators and say, like, hey, is this person on the same wavelength as I am? Do they have similar beliefs? Do they, like the same artists as I do? Do they show that they even care about artistry or creativity, or do they just shop at Road Beauty and they just buy the newest, aloe gym set, if they even do that? Just be like, hey, what are their thoughts and their opinions? Do they ever talk about it? Do they refrain from talking about it because they know that their thoughts and opinions are pretty shitty and pretty exclusionatory towards other people. We'll say the one major side effect of this NYC influencer discourse, everyone realizing that everyone's moving to New York City to become an influencer, and bigger cities like LA, Houston, even Chicago is getting a little bit of it, is that it is driving the market price of renting and buying at these places at an extraordinary rate. It is driving that up. If I didn't already say that, it is driving it up. It blocks people that are really creative from Midwestern cities and from smaller cities to go to these places and explore their creativity at a somewhat reasonable rate. I mean, New York has always been expensive. LA has always been expensive because of like the weather and stuff. And New York has just always been the culture mecca of the world. Now it's pretty much unaffordable unless you are already an influencer in Atlanta or in where I'm from, in like Louisville or somewhere in like Kansas City, St. Louis, you know, something like that. And it just makes it a lot harder to get there now when the rent is $4,000 for living, you know, livable conditions in like the worst neighborhood in New York. It's like, okay, well, I can't really do that now. And the only people that are going to be able to move to New York are implants from like the richest neighborhoods in the United States. So my advice to you is don't give a fuck about what the girls that are just buying stuff and telling you to buy stuff and everything has a TikTok shop link at the bottom. Don't listen to those people because they're obviously trying to sell you something. If someone is an actual creative, yes, they might be trying to sell you something, but it's going to be in a more covert way, or it's going to be in a way that makes you feel good or makes you feel challenged or something like that. Like all you're consuming when it comes to these get ready with me influencers, the girls that you can obviously tell they've just been rich all their lives and haven't really had to, you know, had their opinion or perspective changed in any way, just don't give them your attention. That's what they make money on. So that's as easy as it is. It's hard to do. It's harder said than done, but that's literally all it is. That's what this discourse comes down to. Are you willing to not watch them? Probably not. There's a lot of people that, you know, want to be comfortable on it, and that's fine. But I challenge you, if you stay this long in the video, to really vet down creators that you are watching and giving your attention to, because your attention is valuable. It's so valuable to them, and they might not think it, but it pays their bills and yada yada yada. So those are my thoughts. If you have any different thoughts, let me know. This could just be a whatever conversation. I think it is actually kind of stupid, but I kind of wanted to talk about it because I want to get other people's thoughts. Were y'all so unmystified, or I guess mystified, that your favorite creators have always just been really rich and they're just forcing you to really buy stuff so they can make a living and live in New York, and it's really priced out everyone else? That seems like a microcosm of the United States. There's an influencer class and now there's a middle class. That's all I have to say. See you all next video.